Hey, I'm gonna be showing off how I made the Embrace the Darkness song. So first of all, I made two songs. The first one was a mini, almost identical cover of the original Gambit song. I named it I Am Dredging because why the hell not? Anyway, the only audio track that I used from the original song was right at the beginning because I couldn't actually remake that by myself with my own instruments here. So, for example, and that's it. I had to use sample one for that, so I can actually just, bring it to the studio one and, you know, cut it out, do what I need to do, and have that. Yay. But for the rest was actually my own instruments here, my VSTs, virtual instruments, whatever. For the basses, I just used all that I had that I liked. For example, this one. Super simple. For the next one, I use UV Workstation Urban Accent for this one. Sounds way better now. And the other one. They start getting that Gambit drifter feeling already. Now, for the rest of the parts, the first effects that I started using, it's for the beginning of the melody. And let me put this a little bit wider, and here. Now, I had to listen to the song 1,000 times, each minor part, so I can get every note for each instrument in the actual track. It wasn't easy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So for the next part, the electricity, how I call it, is just another effects from the Studio One itself, which I love. And from there on, you can actually just listen to it like it is by itself, of course. Simple enough. And of course, the violins, in this case, I call it pick violins because of how it is right now. It's a UV workstation for the orchestral suite. I love that. It's so much fun. So of course, you want to listen to it by itself. Simple. And then the guitar was a weird mix here. I just got the same ones I found in the Studio One, and then I added an amp to it, and a couple of sounds and pedals, basically. So that's actually pretty simple for the guitar, though. I didn't record my own guitar because it's too much troublesome for this, and I wanted to make something simple and quick for the most part. Now the rest of the parts, it's actually just an effects that I call it effects, but it's just one of the other instruments here. So if you listen closely to everything, I'm actually trying to mimic the original song for each one of the instruments for the most part. Though in this one, I don't have any of the percussions in it, the beat drums and everything that it actually contains. I did my own thing on the song that I made later on, so I'm going to show you that later. And then for this one, I didn't use this part for the actual version that I created. Flamenco guitar. Adding Empire and whatnot. I made that, but I wasn't so satisfied with it, so I just went on with it without it. Sorry. And for the last, it's just a normal cymbal, just normal orchestra cymbal. Hey, that's simple. Nice. Now I have beat here, but there's There's something, but I didn't use it, so like I told before. So now we're gonna go to the actual song. Let me close this. No changes. And then we go to the song. Yay. Any day now. Let's wait for it. And here it is. Yay! Now, to begin with, we got the drifter lines, because at the beginning it's just, well, you already heard from the original song. The drifter lines, I had to Google them. I found somebody who had the Google Drive for them. All of the lines from Forsaken before Black Armory. Actually, sorry, before Gambit Prime. And it was like almost 1,000 voice lines. Even if it's just seconds, but still, you gotta give it to them because, geez, you gotta record that over and over again, even if it's the same line. So I have to go one by one just to find the ones that I wanted. And, of course, the ones you listen to the song are the ones that I use, which I already thought before I want to use X lines, and I found them, and I was super happy with them. Of course, you got the beginning of the song, normally.
All right. Let's see what we've got.
And then we start Gambit. Yay! And all the rest. So, I named it those because, I kind of know where it's going with those names. So the rest of the song, though, we got basically the same thing, the bass, in the beginning at least. Let me just toggle it by parts. Then I added, on the bass part, I added the French horn because there's actually like a couple of brass in the original song. And that little touch of how the original composers actually make their songs, which I love. So that's that and that part. And then the beat, though, I tried to add like a hi-hat to it. It wasn't sounding so well. The original song has a little bit of a weird thing going on that I like, but it kind of doesn't fit on my version, so I just left it. But then we got the first part of the beat, which is just a simple thing going on, and put it with the actual snare. Simple enough. It just drives the song to where it's going, but nothing too hardcore. And then I'll get to that later on. We got the electricity, which is the same thing. Pick violins, the guitar, lead effects. Now this is where the fun starts. In this one, I use my Energy UV workstation, which I love this. And after working with all this toggles and whatnot, I made the sounds that actually listen to the song. With that, it just leads the whole song, which I love. It creates that kind of like more of a persecution thing going on, touch, I don't know what you want to call it. But for me, it just adds to the original song. And then on the effects here, the beginning, it's basically what you already heard in the other song. Next part is the same. Here, there's nothing. Yay for me. I was going to use something, I didn't use it, which is, that part. And then the beginning, it's just simple enough, which is just like a weird. You listen to that in every damn song, basically. And now for the next part of the orchestra, I use the same suite, which is the orchestra suite, but in this case it was the strings ensemble. Here you go. And on this one, I use east-west string sets. Just to give it a little more touch, see how it sounded. It wasn't bad, just combining both of them. And it gives it a little bit of a touch. And then the last one is basically the same, but it's just the lower notes because I couldn't combine both of them, higher and low notes, at the same time, the same keyboard, as in I can UV workstation here, which I can. You can do low and high at the same time. And then on the taiko drums, I added 2 of them because for that, I have the beginning part, which you can already listen to. It's just that. In the original song, they actually have something going on like this, so I try to recreate it with this taiko drums. Yes. Simple enough. But then the other part, it's the chorus. I'll get to that in a bit. And then we got the gongs, that's in the chorus, and the cymbals, same thing you already heard in the last part. Now going back to the middle of the song, everything's normal here. After the beginning, it all comes down a little bit because I want to drive it down just so Oryx, or the Taken, we want to call it, appears with the next part, which is where, you're going to love this. Everybody does. I do. I don't know about you, though. Give me some love. Anyway, here we go. Anything else?
Hey, you're gonna love this.
Now, the part where I added the taiko, where it's just like a hard boom, I give it a touch like that because it feels like it's like Oryx just appearing, just stepping in. I mean, he's mostly flying around. But in the game itself, it just feels like, oh, there's Oryx. And then the notes, his notes. And then the next part, the chorus, it's just like, I feel like it's just saying like the Guardians is going into the fight because it gives you that powerful, emotive melody, which is like basically like the Avengers thing going on. It gives it that awesome touch to it. So it just feels like we're just going into battle and fighting. That's the whole point. Now for the next part, it's where the Embrace of Darkness comes in. And now for that one, I changed the actual bass drum and snare because it gives it more of a stronger note to it compared to the beginning. Let me put this on mute. So you feel the power it emits. It's great. I just love that. Now for the snare though, I use the orchestra version and just modify the snare. Kind of feels like Lars Ulrich snare, but not that bad. But I love it. And then from later on, it's just rinse and repeat with the pick violins and the lead effects itself. But then when I was playing with the original song, when I was creating this part of the song, I was playing with the keyboard, just doing the electric part. And I felt like, let me just go up in notes and keep on going with the actual melody from Oryx itself. And it just led to what it is right now, and it was so much fun, I decided to just recreate it like 1,000 times until I got like the perfect score and make it all like it is. And it's just fun for me. Like, it has that Oryx Taken touch to it, but it's electric type, so not Pokemon. It just gives you that powerful, emotive part of the song. And it just goes on and on until the end, which is just the chorus. But here, though, because of what you heard when I played the notes, it keeps going with like a deeper note. I'm not touching the keyboard right now, but it keeps that. I have to press a lower key so it stops. I don't know why, but it does that. So I just added this notes here, and there we go. Here we go. Where is it? Jesus, now I'm confused. And there we go. I added these notes, and it just creates the stop that I need for the chorus, but it stops the sound from going on, because why the hell not? And then the chorus goes on, finishes up with the drifter because he's having so much fun like I am.
Are you having fun yet?
And then, let's be bad guys.
Let's be bad guys.
So that's it. Any questions, just comment, and hope you like it. Yay! Please press a like and subscribe, something. Yay! I love you. Bye. Bye. Yes. Where do I stop this? Oh my god, my first time I can stop that. I don't want